smash it at the bottom with a thing. It's called muddling. That's what it is, muddling.
I like nipples.
Oh, all right. So for those of you that don't know, this is This Epic Disaster. I'm Cheri.
Oh, what did I do?
You started with nipples.
Hi, I'm Rick.
Yes, hello.
Have we started?
We have.
Didn't know we had started.
Yes, we have. That's when my professional voice came out.
Let me just do a really quick disclaimer.
Okay.
My wife made kick-ass cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
But it's freaking potent. So I thought I was going to be kind of sitting back enjoying a little bit of a cocktail. Whew. Well, any cocktail that has gin in it, first of all.
Please keep your clothes on. Just please keep your clothes on.
That's panty peeler for me. And this is a gin cocktail. And I mean, I had like 3 sips and I was already kind of feeling the buzz.
Uh-oh.
What the heck?
You have 2 pieces of clothes on that I can see right now.
Well, I'm not going to take them off. Don't worry.
Just keep them on.
No, don't take them off. I'm not going to take them off. Don't worry.
Right,
It's not going to happen.
Okay,
I took them off for the air conditioning.
Yep.
That happened in our house.
Yep.
We did get the air conditioning fixed. We had people come over who fixed the air conditioning, as you know.
Right.
You're here at our house right now.
Right.
It didn't work.
Nope.
Well, it sort of worked. It's better than it was. It's not perfect.
It's still hot as...
It's
well,
really
it's
hot.
Not hot AF.
Well, they're
but
coming
it is
tomorrow.
hot.
They're coming tomorrow to fix it,
Okay.
and we're going to figure out what's going on. They were
You've already given them like $3,000.
$3,000 to put a whole new unit in, and it's not working.
I don't understand.
I don't either. We're going to find out.
All
We're going
right.
to get to the bottom of it, and when I say bottom, I'm talking about my naked bottom.
Your naked, sweaty bottom.
Which you can see. I took them. I took them. I took all of those naked pictures off.
Why?
Because my wife said she was ashamed.
No, she did not.
She did. She said she was embarrassed.
Your wife said she was embarrassed of your naked body?
Can you believe it?
How hurtful is that? Oh, my God.
I need to drown my sorrow in beer, so let's do a live beer review.
All right, let's do
today,
it. So I bought this a while back, but we haven't chosen to drink it yet because, we forgot we had it. But we do have it. It is by Scofflaw Brewing Company. It's called FXXX Pollen, which basically means fuck pollen.
Wait a minute. Is it fuck or fucks?
It's fuck.
FX.
Yeah, but it's XXX. So, okay.
It's FX pollen.
No, it's not FX pollen. It's fuck pollen. Can you not even hold your can of beer?
I don't even know if that's true.
Holy shit, here we go.
I'm making shit up.
It says, when the pollen count rises around here, so do the pint glasses. Using the hop flowers of Lemon Drop and El Dorado, our pale ale is a temporary relief from the seasonal ailments and give us all another blooming reason to say, fuck pollen.
You're correct. So the XXX is just supposed to be like the little stars. They're like taking the place of the UCK.
Correct. But it's also, if you think about it, it's another layer. It's XXX, which is X-rated, which is triple, fucking and all that.
I gotcha.
Anyways, this is 5% alcohol by volume. And again, it is probably going to be very hoppy.
Do you think so?
I think so.
5% alcohol by volume.
I already said that part.
Anti-pollen. All right, let's try it. Let's give it.
Did you shake this?
I did not. I shouldn't have had it so close to this cocktail.
Okay, how about you give me the cocktail.
I felt like Thurston Howell III when I said cocktail.
Give me.
Cocktail,
I can move your cocktail to a place where you won't spill it.
Don't touch my cocktail.
I've touched your cocktail.
All right, I'm
before.
pouring. Oh. I should have slowed down.
Uh-oh.
Hey, wait a second.
It's
there
getting on
it
the laptop.
goes.
God
It looks
damn
like
it, Rick.
It looks like a beer commercial.
I hate you on so many levels right
man, we should have filmed that. So what I have is like a third beer, 2/3 head.
And some on the laptop.
There's a roll of paper towels right behind you. Can you grab those? Because it's getting on the laptop.
How many times did I say that?
I'm just saying. I didn't do it on purpose.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, there goes our crowd right there. There goes all of our listeners who enjoy Jesus. All right, so I'm going to kind of sop this up here. That's good. Okay. I'm going to pretend like that never happened.
You can't take this man anywhere. There's nowhere that you can take this man.
It's pretty. Here's the thing.
And expect him not to hurt something.
Beer that has a big head on it is prettier than beer that doesn't. It's not as effective. It's not a good drink, but it's also prettier.
That head is going to sit there for the entire time that we are on this podcast, and you're never going to be able... And now you're pouring more.
I have to get the rest of my can in. What am I supposed to do? Hold on. Let me suck the head.
People, please help me. Help me. Please help me. This is awful. So, okay,
Ooh,
let me just say that anybody...
Kind of fruity.
Rick, shut up for a second. Anybody that's listening because of the podcast that I was on Saturday, and I mentioned our podcast. If you're just tuning in now just to see what we're all about, dear God, I'm so sorry. This is not normal.
Let's give a background to that podcast, because Mike Faber, who was on this podcast,
Yep.
back around Christmas time, who came in and did a little Hanukkah thing, which was really awesome.
And he brought like toys. He brought things.
I mean, we need to have him back.
Absolutely.
So when we did the Life and Kill podcast, we were on ESO Network.
Yes, and
They have some great podcasts over there.
They do, and one of them is Earth Station 1, which
Yes.
is ESO, which is how they started their network. But they also have Earth Station Who, which is dedicated to Doctor Who and Doctor Who episodes. So what they do is they like to review Doctor Who episodes and sometimes go off on tangents on Doctor Who in general, which I kind of did on our podcast, that I was a guest on, which it came out this past Saturday, which would be Saturday the, I don't know, 1st, 2nd. I don't have a calendar in front of me. I can't spell.
Right. You were a special guest,
Yes.
Doctor Who
And
guest.
we reviewed the episode of Doctor Who named The Doctor's Wife, which starred Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. And it was probably his best episode. But anyways, I'm not going to go into detail because I want you to go find ESO Network. You can find Earth Station Who and find the episode in which we review The Doctor's Wife. And you get to hear me with Mike Faber, Michael Gordon, and Mary Ogle. And those are the 3 podcast hosts that are normally on it.
Now, this is not your first time on their podcast.
I was just a guest.
You've done guest on there before.
Once upon a time,
Well, here's
I
the
did.
thing. A lot of people
Yes.
may not know, even though we talk about it on the show sometimes, you're kind of a little bit of an expert of Doctor Who.
No, I am not.
You're very
No.
okay. So you're knowledgeable
about
Doctor
the new Who. I'm
So the other
knowledgeable
day I
about
came to
new
your
Who.
house and you were binge watching Doctor Who, because that's what you do. You're a Who person.
That's what I do.
You're a Who.
So
you're a
the other
Who
day
guy.
when you came to my house and I had Doctor Who playing, it's
Yes.
because I was preparing for my
my
researching interview. Yeah, because
that's always a good thing.
The episode that we reviewed was season 6, episode 4 of the new Who.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of classic Who, and that might
Classic
lose us.
Who?
Yeah, like the old Who,
Right.
like before they rebooted.
Sure.
I've seen episodes and they're great and they're fun, but I just much prefer New Who.
Do you think they would ever need a guest to kind of like talk about all the wonders of Rose? Because I would like to do that.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Those 3 particular hosts of that particular podcast,
They do it themselves.
aren't particular fans of Rose.
Really? Well, I would be that. I would be Rose fan.
You would be Rose?
The Rose's fan. I would love to do that.
Well, they would love to have you.
I don't know anything about Who, though. I'm trying to get him to do a Kids in the Hall episode so I can be a guest on that. Because I know that. I could do that for sure.
I'm going to hit Mike up right now.
You should, because that...
And I'm going to tell him
well,
that
don't
we're
do it
recording.
during the podcast. That would be kind of weird. Wow, we're doing a podcast.
Sorry.
Let's do some Zapando.
All right. You go first this time.
I want to point out something that didn't happen last week, and I just want to point this out. That's
that?
very important. I totally forgot about this. Last week, I dropped a Yellowstone.
Yes.
The week before.
Yes.
Now you can go back and check this. The week before, I said at the end of the podcast, if you listen, I said next week I'm going to drop a Yellowstone.
Nobody's going to go back.
I said that.
Nobody's going to do it.
I'm telling you, I said it, and then
Okay.
last week I dropped a Yellowstone. I totally forgot about it, but I did. And then when I was doing some research, I realized that I did it.
Do you know why you forgot?
Because I forgot.
Because you didn't write it down.
I did. See right there? Yellow. All right. So today I'm dropping a redstone.
It's green. Okay, so green on Zobmondo, which is a Would You Rather game, stands for ethics and intellect. And today, your question is,
Yes.
would you rather not be able to tell the time?
Well, that's half the time.
I mean,
anyway.
that's you. That's you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Or not know left from right, which
That's
is
also
kind of
me.
also you.
When I was in ROTC.
Yes,
when I was in
we've
high
heard.
school, JROTC.
Yep.
And I had to march.
Uh-huh.
And so one of the commands they would do is they
Left.
would... Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they would go to the left, and you had to turn to the left. To the right, and you had to turn to the right. So what would happen is a lot of times they would go to the left,
And you turn right.
there would be at least one person who would always turn to the right. They would do the other.
Be you.
So what I did was, because you had to have your arms to the side, I would do the American Sign Language version of R in my right hand, which is kind of crooking your index finger.
Yep.
And L, which is that, in my left hand.
Just so you would know.
So I would remember which was right and which was left.
Oh my gosh, that's genius, actually.
It never failed. I will be driving down the road, and my wife will say, "Turn left right here," and I will turn right.
You'll do the hand.
No, I will turn right. I don't know my left from my right.
I know you don't.
So I don't think either of these questions matter because
you can't tell time.
I can't. Half the time I can't tell time.
We know this.
And half the time I can. I would rather say that I can't tell time because I probably miss my left and my right more than I can't tell time. I think I can tell time.
Here's something I know about you.
Here's
something I know about you very well because I used to live with you and eat meals with you.
Okay.
Is that we would order a pizza and they would say, okay, it'll be ready in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, Rick, well, it takes 10 minutes to get to that particular pizza place. And you would sit there for half an hour before you would go get the pizza.
I don't see, that's not that I can't tell time. I have no concept of time.
You don't have any concept of time.
And that's what most deities don't.
You... What? Ass. You are an ass.
We're beyond time. We're beyond space and time.
Okay. You're not a time lord. Don't even try.
All
Don't
right.
even
It's
try.
your turn. Drop a stone. Let's see what you do. Let's see
right.
what you get. What are you going to do? I'm thinking blue, but still.
You're not psychic
No,
either.
I'm getting a strong red. I said blue
You
first.
said blue.
I said blue at first, but I'm getting a really strong red.
You want to go for the other three colors too?
No, just going with that one.
Okay. It's yellow.
All right, yellow is...
Because Rick is not psychic. Just so you know, Rick is not psychic.
It's hard to be psychic when I'm under pressure. When I'm doing a show, it's hard to be psychic. If I'm not doing a show, I can do it. All right, yellow is random, so these are just random questions.
Like, am I?
Would you rather never be able to say the word love, like me, or... Oh, this is sad. Or never be able to kiss?
What? I'm pained by this question.
I'm going to back up again and read it again. Never be able to say the word love or never be able to kiss.
I would rather never be able to say the word love.
I agree.
If I love somebody,
Yeah.
there are so many other ways I could show them and tell them.
You could say, I L word you.
Or just, I admire and respect and hold you in highest regard over every other person on the planet. Isn't that something better than saying I love you?
You could actually do another love in another language. You could say Liebe, like German. Or what's love in Spanish? I don't know. Taco?
Amor.
Yeah.
Amor.
Yeah. So you could do that. Or you could just say L. I L you. I L you.
All right. Really, 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 really like you.
I'm in L with you.
I am
I
in
totally
L with
agree.
you.
I mean, why would you...
Why would you not want to kiss?
never. That's crazy.
I kiss everything and everyone.
Yeah, it's like one of the best things ever invented. All right, so that's good. That's for another...
Yeah.
I
dig
feel
it.
like maybe... Am I a little too manic? I do feel like I had a little too much
Yes.
cocktail.
Yes.
Dang it.
You're too manic. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to slow things down.
I'm taking another sip of the beer.
Just shh for a moment.
Can I make a comment on the beer?
Please.
I just want to say I keep expecting to drink it and think it's going to be really, really strong. It's not. I keep thinking it's going to be... But then it doesn't
And you
do
keep
that.
slamming your hands on the table, which I can hear in my ears. So
Really?
don't
Can
do
you hear that?
Yep. So slow things down. Take a breath. All right. Now, what I would like you to do is close your eyes.
Excuse me.
Don't do that. Close your eyes.
They're closed.
I'm going to need your analytical brain. I hate you. I hate you on so many levels.
I always liked the way Popeye, when he would sleep, he would go... I think I've mentioned this before. He'd go...
Yeah.
I always wish I could actually snore like that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody that was ever in bed with you would hate you for life.
My wife actually snores like that.
No, she doesn't. That's awesome. I'm going to tell her.
Don't say
as soon
that.
as we go
Don't
downstairs.
tell her. Do not tell her that I said that.
All right. So
But it's true.
I do need your analytical brain, though. Is it
Okay.
available?
Somewhat.
Okay. So I have, we spoke a couple of episodes ago about some dreams that I had.
Oh, yeah.
And you did some analysis for me.
Analyzing, yes, that's correct.
I'm going to say you're better at analytics than analyzing.
I'm
But
about
let's
equal
just
on
go
both.
there. Okay. So in the previous dreams, just a quick recap, I had a dream about a snake that was going away. And you mentioned male sexuality.
That's correct.
And that it's not a big deal because I wasn't too concerned about my pet snake leaving, but I was really concerned about my actual pets.
Or you had a crush on Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. That's
No, that
possible, too.
wasn't any part of it.
I'm just
I
saying
need your serious analytical brain here,
Sorry, I
Richard.
apologize. I stepped back from the comments I just made.
Okay, so and then we discussed my my inability to have a relationship. Anyways? So so my dreams are continuing down that. Stop drinking the gin, start drinking the beer, please.
Oh, man.
We may need to cut this part out because you're getting hammered.
Yes. Okay.
Just hold the paper towels on your side.
It's very moist over here.
You are a moist man.
Go ahead.
Moist.
I actually saw an article online about why people don't like the word moist.
Okay, we'll discuss that later. Right now, I want to talk about my fucking dream, so please stop drinking and listen.
Are you fucking in your dreams? Why are you
There
doing
was some fucking in these dreams.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
All right,
Let's come
so
on.
first dream.
Yes.
We did discuss how a house in a dream or a building in a dream
Often is your consciousness.
right.
Is you.
Right. So in this first dream that I'm going to discuss.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yes. Okay, so every dream has a different house in it. And there are 3 of them. 2 of them are very quick.
Wait. 3. Each one of your current dreams have a different house.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant as collectiveness of your overall dreams. You've only had 3 houses.
Oh,
I
I've
see what
had
you're saying.
several houses.
Okay. All right. I got you.
So first house is a condo I just bought, and it's a very industrial type condo with exposed brick on the walls, exposed piping, etc. in the ceiling. Okay,
Sure.
Super excited. First place I've ever bought. It's a condo, but it's super private.
Okay.
And I'm settling in. I'm doing furniture, etc., and then I find a small snake.
Again with the snake.
Again with the snakes. Oh,
Okay.
this is bad with the snakes.
All right.
Okay, so again with the snake, it's a very small snake, and I'm like, I'm not cool with that. But I did just move in, so I don't know what's happening. So
I think I am the small snake.
well,
in your dreams.
I knew that. But okay, so get the small snake out of the room, and have somebody come and look for snakes and look for critters and look for pests, and everything seems to be clear.
Okay.
So very quickly, I noticed that there are now dead rodents in corners of my house. Okay. And then I discover why they are dead. Suddenly, out of nowhere, there are snakes everywhere in my house. They are coming in from every orifice, every hole, every little tiny little opening in my house. There are snakes coming in, and they range from like little tiny little water snakes and to big water snakes to small gardener snakes to like fucking pythons in my house, and they are just coming in through the walls. They're coming in through the windows. They're coming in everywhere, and that's when I wake up.
That's all?
And I've never had a nightmare about snakes before in my life.
How do you feel when you wake up?
Like I initially, I'll be honest with you, the first conscious thought in my head was, Rick said snakes are male sexuality.
Yeah, I feel like in this situation you're not very comfortable with the amount of male sexuality that you personally are exhibiting.
I have a lot.
I know, but I'm just saying, well, you don't always.
Sometimes.
You have a mixture.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, I think maybe you're struggling with the amount of male sexuality that you personally are exhibiting.
Okay.
And you're not feeling comfortable about it.
Okay.
Maybe you're feeling like you should not have as much. I can't figure out the rodents though. That's I'm not sure about that.
Well, I think they were just a clue as to look for something.
Maybe the rodents are your prey. I don't know. I have to think about that. But I do feel like that it just seems to me that you're becoming very uncomfortable with your male sexuality. I mean, everyone has male and female sexuality, and I feel like maybe you're struggling with that.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. Being a currently non-sexual being, if you will, or let me rephrase that: a non-partnered sexual being. I haven't had a sexual. I'm gonna just go deep.
Okay.
I haven't had a sexual partner in over 2 years.
Would you, if you had the opportunity, would you just for the hell of it, would you do it? If you had the opportunity? Or do you really, are you at a point now where you would rather have more commitment?
No, it's not even commitment, to be honest with you. I would just rather have mutual respect. Mm-hmm. I'm not just going to fuck somebody because they want to fuck me. I want to have, if we both go in knowing that this is just this, then let's do this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But let's respect it for what it is and move on.
Would you ever have a fuck buddy? Would you ever have like a good friend, someone who is your ongoing friend that you just had sex with just for the hell of it, just for fun, for recreation purposes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, it's hard for me to make that decision because I'm married, but I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I would. I don't know. If it was... maybe. I have a few friends I would like to have sex with.
Just so you know...
If I was single.
The things that you're bringing up right now...
Yes.
...will come up in my third dream.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Okay, so...
It means that I'm onto something
You
here.
are onto something. You are.
Yeah.
So let's move into the second dream, because that first dream was very short. Second dream is the important one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pay attention.
No, wait a minute. Let me ask. Are these on the same night?
No, these are over the course of 1 week.
Okay.
Okay. So that was the first one, the snake dream.
Okay.
The second one is the guy dream.
Uh-oh.
And it's the guy that I have been a little bit obsessed with for about a year.
Sure. And this is this is exactly him.
Yes.
He doesn't have a different face.
Nope.
It's the same guy. Okay.
It is him.
Gotcha.
Now, he might seem a little softer in my dream.
Okay.
And a little less harsh on personality level.
Okay.
And he is more of what I think he could be.
You're already correcting him.
No.
I see what you're saying.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what I think he might be hiding.
Okay.
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 Okay. Anyways, so in this dream, this person...
Wait, let me back up a little bit. This is kind of a bit of a tangent, but is this this dude, is this a potential thing or is it past?
It's past.
Oh, so it's never going to happen?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's never going to happen. I mean, if it did, I'd still be open to it.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm just saying
But
I didn't know.
It's not going to.
I didn't know if it was still on course of.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, so this person, and the reason that this may be the person in my dream may be that this is the last person that I was actually considering being.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Something important. Did he reject you? Did you reject him?
He rejected me.
Okay.
Okay. So, so in the dream, I, basically, okay, I'll start on the level of the dream. I came over to his house. We had sex. Now this is okay, mind you, that like I'm talking months over the course of a couple minutes here. So we visited, I came over, we hung out, eventually we had sex, eventually I moved in, eventually, this is like the course of like a year.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now I live with him. Okay.
Okay.
And that happened that fast.
Sure.
So now I'm there and it's enjoyable and we're both enjoying it. And he loves me and he tells me that he loves me and I love him and all is well and everything is good. And then suddenly, maybe slowly, I start to notice that there is literal writing on the walls, like pencil marks.
Okay.
Okay. But it's not words. It's just pencil marks.
Okay.
I can't read what they say, nothing. And then I notice that the paint is starting to chip. Okay. So the paint on the walls, there's writing on the walls, and then the whole surrounding of the room, the house, is a little darker, a little grayer, a little less pristine. Okay? Now this all, if you're a logical person at all, you know what's happening here. And then, but here's the thing is I keep saying through the whole dream, don't worry, I'll fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'll fix it. Don't worry, I'm going to fix it. I'll fix it. Don't worry, I will fix it. And I keep saying that. And I keep telling people, I'm going to fix it. Don't worry, I'll fix it. And so eventually, the house really is starting to crumble. Things are starting to fall. And I just keep saying, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. And so next scene, if you will, is he and I together, we have been working very, very hard to try and fix the walls together. We've been doing this together. And we are currently exhausted and leaning up against a wall, sitting side by side, leaning up against a wall. Mm-hmm. And I look at him and I say, I'm going to bed. And he goes, I'm coming with you. We get up, we go towards the bedroom, and then suddenly the water heater explodes and there's water everywhere. So it's just suddenly something else. And he does one of these numbers with his arms, which is basically a move of frustration. And he kind of lets out this frustrated kind of growl, right? And I try to comfort him and tell him, I promise I'm going to fix it. And that's when I wake up.
Okay. I got you. This is a complicated thing, and I will say that it's a little bit more complicated by the fact that I've had some gin in my system. But, okay, so first of all, this dude is not the dude. Obviously, it's not the dude.
It's just what's in my head left of the perfect dude.
You've got that dude, but the bottom line of this is about acceptance. It's about accepting who you are. It's about trying to get this guy to accept you, which really is about you trying to accept yourself.
Stop for just a second, because I forgot to say that once I realized I was in his house and I was living there, and once I realized that things were starting to fall apart, I also had this overwhelming feeling of I made this happen. I forced this on him.
What? Oh, so you felt inadequate.
I felt like I forced it. Like I pushed myself towards this person.
Well, I think we could look at this as a possibility of like just relationships, how you feel with another person, maybe inadequate, or you feel like that no one's going to accept you. But I do feel like the bottom line of this is about acceptance. And I feel that it's about you when your real self starts coming out. Like you're talking about the walls start crumbling or the paint starts chipping off. What's the paint chipping off? That's your makeup. That's your covering. That's what is you is being revealed suddenly, and you're not comfortable with it. And you're like, I'm sorry, I'm going to fix that. I don't want you to see me as I am. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to become someone else. I'm not going to let you know. When the water starts, when it blows up, when water starts coming, that's birth. Water, birth, that's you becoming you. You're becoming you. That's what that is. It's a struggle of you trying to apologize to other people for being who you are, and then you just become you.
Really? With the sound effects?
I love that sound effect. Oh, and there's nothing you could do about it. And the people, it's like you're always apologizing. You're like, I'm going to fix. I'm sorry that you have to see me as I am. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to repair myself. I know you don't want to really see this. And that's what that's about.
So then you could dig even deeper into the fact that he and I were both trying to fix it.
I don't think he's in the dream. I think he is
part of me.
Well, that, or it's just a collective humanity.
Okay.
He represents how you want to humanity to feel about you. You want humanity to love you. You want humanity to accept you.
So now let me lay another layer on top of that, because there was an overwhelming, as soon as I realized that I forced this on him, et cetera, there was an overwhelming kind of guilt.
Well, you feel that anyway about other people.
I just do.
Yeah,
I live in guilt.
Right, but I mean, again, it's he's the earth, he's the people, he's everybody. It's not just him. It's like you feel sorry that the world has to accept you for who you are, but at the same time, you want to be who you are. You want to be born. You're birth. You're born into the world, and then you're apologizing for it.
Wow.
And you got to stop.
Okay.
And the reality is, the real dude, if he doesn't accept you, fuck him. I mean,
no, I get that.
No,
yeah,
that's a totally different thing. But this is a struggle within you. You've picked that guy as someone because within you've had a struggle at some point of whether he's going to accept you or not for who you are, and then you've chosen him to represent everyone.
Yeah.
So the dream dude is not that particular one dude. No. It's every dude. It's every person.
It's all people.
It's all people. Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact is, and this is very hopeful, that in spite of the fact that you kept trying to cover it up, you were born. You still were birthed. You still came through all of that other stuff.
And I think frustrated the fuck out of all people.
Well,
because when that happened, when the water heater blew and the water and the leak and all over the place. That's when it was just like, ugh. I mean,
but I think that that's correct. But I think the fact that it actually happened, that in your dream you saw it happen because it never got stifled. There was no abortion.
No.
You were fully birthed.
Yes.
It was birthed. The water heater blew. Water was broke.
Coming out
water
of everywhere.
broke.
Yep.
You were birthed.
Yep.
You, in spite of the fact of you apologizing and afraid people weren't going to accept you, you still came forward. You still were birthed. And it was basically, screw you, everyone who doesn't accept me.
Okay.
I'm going to be me.
Okay.
That's kind of what that means.
I'm going to be the puddle on the floor.
Well, you're going to be you. You're birthed. You're going to grow up, obviously, but that's who you are. You're going to be you. You allowed yourself to be birthed, even in all of the apology. And I think it's a very positive thing. It's a very positive dream,
Okay.
in my opinion.
It definitely stuck with me. It stuck with me for a good few days. Like, I can picture it in my head even today. So the third dream, let's move on.
Third dream, dream number 3.
Dream number 3.
Mm-hmm.
This dream also has to do with a intimate
Snake.
relationship.
Oh, I see.
No snakes. No snakes in this dream. But it is an intimate relationship with a man. And the actor playing the man in this dream is somebody I know.
Okay.
And somebody I've never ever considered like being a sexually intimate partner.
Right.
Just kind of a friend, you know, not even like a close friend, just a dude. So in this dream, he and I are having an affair.
Ooh.
And we meet. No, it's not the kind of affair you would think. It's not. There's no partner that we're hiding it from. Okay, there's no commitment that we're breaking.
Just a fling.
Yes, a fling. And we meet clandestinely, you know, at a pool.
Okay.
All right, let's just move past that. We meet at a pool, and we engage in intimate contact at that pool on a regular basis. It's just kind of a thing that we do, right? And it's private, and it's us, and it's fine. And he's putting his clothes on after an intimate encounter. And, you know, we've both been having a good amount of time. We're very intimate when we're intimate. There's this very feeling of very closeness. That it's comfortable. It's close. It's, you know, on both parties, there's no insecurities at all. And I need to make that clear. There's no insecurity there whatsoever.
Right.
Okay. So at one point, he's getting dressed. He's getting ready to leave. And I'm kind of lounging. And we're talking comfortably. And I say something about this relationship. And he looks at me and he says, "Relationship? What relationship are you referring to?" He says, "This is not a relationship." He says, "This is nothing." And it's like, oh, well, okay, that's all right. That's fine. And then suddenly his children show up.
Boom, boom, boom.
And I'm like, excuse me, wait, hold, what? So, yeah, so that's awkward. And then I wake up.
Well, okay. So this dream, in my opinion, this is a fairly simple dream, but I don't know what the children mean.
Right?
Yeah.
I could have heard my dog in the other room or
A
something
pool-
at that point. I don't know.
A pool is an intimate place. So if you go to a public pool, what are you doing? You're almost naked. You're practically naked. You're swimming
The
with
pool
other,
I go to, I am naked.
yeah.
But okay.
You're swimming with other people.
Right.
It's a very intimate type of situation. So you're putting this person in a very intimate type of situation.
We're meeting in like a side room, like a locker room at the pool. It's like a
But you're still swimming, right?
no, not while we're doing it.
Okay.
No.
Wait, we're doing it. So there is sexuality.
There is.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, it's intimacy. That's just an intimacy issue.
Right.
Yeah, just like you're being intimate and then you're having the rug pull out from under you
Exactly.
is totally what that's about. It's an intimate situation. Like I said, the pool.
So it's a fear of intimacy.
Possibly a fear. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like that you're totally open to being intimate. I think you're just not trusting the other people.
Oh,
and if
yeah.
they have a family, rightfully so, they should not be involved in that situation.
But again, in the dream, there was no partner. There was no like wife. We weren't hiding anything.
But
from
you're
anybody.
saying that, but he's got kids
But he has children.
from another previous situation.
Yeah, it could have been, it wasn't like we were cheating. There was no cheating happening. There was
Well,
no indiscretion.
I feel again, it's a fence. It's a barrier. It's just like it's a barrier to your intimacy. You're finally opening up. You're being intimate, and this person, first of all, is going, "What? No." Intimate barrier right there.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. And to ensure that's not going to happen, here are my 5 kids, 7
There
kids,
were
whatever.
actually 3.
So it's just like, and this is so typical of what I know about you. I feel like you create barriers to intimacy a lot of times. And I think that's what's happening. I think you believe that you're going to be open and the other person is not. So you're going to be open and the other person is going to shut you down.
Oh, I think that all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
All the
so that's
time.
what this is. It's just like this is.
I think that when I say hello to somebody on the street.
Yeah, they're going to say, "What? Not hello.
Why would you want to say hi to me?
Let me show you my 5 kids." Yeah, that's what that's about. It's just like you're finally at a point where you're like, "All right, I'm going to be intimate. I'm in a pool. I'm in a bikini. You could see my cleavage. You could see my butt. How are you? Let's be friends."
Okay,
no.
You're reading a lot.
No, I'm just saying. I'm taking it to a
Okay.
extreme, but I'm just saying that's what it's about. It's about intimacy and then someone shutting down. You're willing to be intimate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that's about.
Okay. So I'm afraid that anybody is
Yes.
going to shut down my advances. And you know why that's a fear?
Because it's happened.
Several fucking times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it happens to everyone.
No.
I think that it's
I don't
true.
think it does.
Most people have been in relationships where they've been intimate and someone says no. It's true. I've
It's
told
happened
stories
to
about
me
it.
more than anybody, I think.
I don't
like
know it's
more
true.
than anybody in the whole
Well, I think too,
planet.
you have to examine who you're being intimate with or who you're trying to be intimate with, because sometimes you automatically connect with someone who has 7 kids, and that person's never going to be intimate with you. So it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have to make sure that the person. Let me just go back and say, like, I've been in many relationships in my life.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, they didn't work.
Right.
And you could point them out. You could say, all right, this didn't happen. So I get into a relationship with my current relationship with my wife.
Right.
Everything lined up to be perfect. And I kept thinking,
And why can't I have that?
well, I don't know. I don't know. The thing that I'm always afraid of is it's luck. Because I always say, there was nothing I could do about it. It just happened, and it just happened. And for a long time, I was like, all right, so this is going to happen. At some point, this is going to happen, and it never happened. And nothing really ever happened. We've been together 5 years, so I keep thinking something's going to happen.
Like the other shoe's going to drop.
But it
or
never
something
has so far.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Happen.
but I mean, I had to be 50. How am I? 52.
Did you really just have to do math? And
I had to do a little math before I was ever to come to that. And I mean, I've been in love before.
Sure.
I've been in relationships before.
Sure.
They didn't work for whatever reason. A lot of times me, a lot of times them, a lot of times a combination of the two. But I can't help that. I mean, there's nothing I can control about my current situation that worked perfectly. It just did.
Here's I'm going to get a little bit honest.
Okay.
Oh my God. This is like a therapy session. We should just start a new podcast that's called Cheri's Therapy Session.
I'm going to charge you after it's over.
I think you should, because you also bought me dinner. So I know I've been in love before.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I have been in love a lot. And then I also know that I am capable of obsessing. So
Sure.
yeah, I have been
What
diagnosed.
is obsession? Why do you obsess?
I've been diagnosed with puro OCD. which
Okay,
is-
but that's a totally thing. Why in relationships? Why do you think you obsess? Do you obsess with a person?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So
Should
okay.
find that out.
So here's my concern.
Mm-hmm.
Have I ever actually been in love? Mm-hmm. Or have I ever just always been obsessed?
What is love?
What is love?
I have no idea. That's one of the weird things that I got to be 57, and I just look back and I'm like, I don't know what love is.
No idea.
I don't know what love is. People say it all the time. I love you. My wife says I love you, and I'm like, I love you too. I don't know what that
What
means.
the hell am I
don't know what I'm
saying?
talking
What am I
about.
saying? Yeah.
It's a thing that you do. I don't know what love. I don't know what that word means. I really don't.
It's like I feel like I've always been super infatuated, obsessed.
Okay, so is that love? Feeling? Is love a feeling?
I don't know.
I think love is a weird thing that humans made up that makes no sense at all. I don't
Okay.
know what love is.
Okay.
I love my dog.
I love my dog.
So I don't know what that means.
Does it mean that I'm just really super used to her? Does it mean that I just really want to care for her and I want to make sure she's okay? Does it mean that I want to nurture her? Does it mean that I want her to be healthy? What does love mean?
I have no idea. I love my wife, but I don't know what that means. I like having sex with my wife. I don't know what that means. I love watching my wife do her daily life stuff.
Right.
I don't know what all that means. I just feel like it's kind of accumulation, but I just think that we put way too much emphasis on whatever this mysterious love thing is.
Yeah.
And really what a relationship is number one, it's a commitment. It's a voluntary, conscious commitment.
Decision. Yes.
To go through life with another person, and it's just somebody you just enjoy. The other night I was sitting.
So somebody you get along with.
My wife was in bed. I was sitting there. I was just looking at her, and it's like something about her teeth. I was just like, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen in the world. It wasn't anything about her. It's just like I just like so much about her. Her hands, her face, her body, her whatever.
Right.
I enjoy it. Is it perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Who cares? Nothing we do is perfect, but I enjoy spending my time with her. And so, is it love? I don't know what love is. I really don't know what that word is. I don't know what it means. And it doesn't have a meaning, but
Nobody can quantify it. Nobody can say what actually makes you love somebody. Nobody can say what love is. Is it a feeling? Is it an emotion? Is it a chemical imbalance in the brain? What is it?
It's a distraction, in my opinion. I don't even think it should be a part of human vocabulary. I mean, love as acceptance.
Romantic love has become like you don't want to. Okay, there's a great line in a movie that everybody's seen, which is The Sleepless in Seattle, where Rosie says to Meg, "You don't want to be in love. You want to be in love in a movie," which is basically true for everybody on the planet right now because everybody has seen romantic movies and they're like, "That's what love is." And guess what? You're wrong. That's not what love is.
No,
it doesn't work that way.
Invariably, someone mentions the knight in shining armor and all, and that's so ridiculous. And the longer that you're married, you understand that. But I feel like that there's something that's kind of underlying that a lot of people who've been married for a long period of time or been in a relationship for a long period of time, you don't even have to be married. When you just feel like I like being in this person's presence.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
I like it. And it's a conscious choice. You don't have to have this person. You don't need this person. If this person dies, it's going to be sad, but your life is not necessarily going to end.
Right.
If you don't get this person, or if this person doesn't act or react a certain way, your life's not going to end. But I just feel like I just like to listen to my wife talk about just her daily life, her regular things. Mm-hmm. And you can have that. You can love the exuberance in your dog.
Of course.
Your dog who loves life. That's love.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's not as mysterious as people think it is. And I think it's much more of a conscious choice than what people think it is.
I have an example of what you just said. My first marriage, I was with him from the time I was 15. And then when I turned 20, he and I split. I went and lived with another man for a little while. And then my first husband and I got back together about a year later. And we got back together, and I will be honest with you here. I needed him. I needed what he had to offer me.
Sure.
Mind you, I was 22 at the time, and I really needed what he could give me. And there were a lot of things, physically, emotionally, financially, et cetera, et cetera. And when we got back together, he basically told me, we're getting married. Because we hadn't been married to that point. We'd just been together. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, fine, we're getting married. Because if that's what I have to do to get what you have to offer me, fine. And that sounds very sociopathic now that I'm saying it out loud. and I apologize for that. Maybe I am a sociopath. But I was at the... This is so weird. I was sitting at the bank one day in the drive-thru, and a song came on, and I suddenly realized that I wanted to be with him. And what I always told people, like the way I described that emotion, was that I fell back in love with him.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it felt like. So what does love feel like? It feels like I want to be with you.
Yeah.
I want you in my life.
I've never felt more in love with someone than when I recognized that I could leave if I wanted to, but I just don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's strength in that. Mm-hmm. And to be able to go, oh, I could never live without you. I have to stay with you.
That's weird.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe that works for some people, and that's okay. I mean, if you feel that way, but to even behind that feeling, if you can think, if I did have to leave or I did leave, I would be okay.
Yeah.
As a person, I would be okay. And I'm here because of a conscious choice. I just like being in this person's presence. To me, that's if
I like what we got. I like what we're doing.
Yeah, if there's a definition of love that I can understand, it's just that. I just never understood the concept of LOVE, whatever that means. I love you. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
It's like, oh, okay.
I'd like to look at the, what's the word? Etymology of that? Or
Yeah.
Is it etymology?
I don't know that anybody knows what
Or
that
entomology?
means. It's a part
one
of it.
is bugs and one is words. Entomology, etymology.
Etymology, I believe, is words.
Okay.
Yeah,
Etymology of that word.
But I just feel like that, for me anyway, love is more about acceptance.
Yeah.
And conscious acceptance than anything. You make the choice to do it. It's not because you have to. The moment you go, I have to, I can't leave, I can never leave, I have to be with this person.
That's not love.
That suddenly becomes you. It's about you. It's a very egotistical thing. And it's kind of a psychological thing that you need to work on a little bit.
I think.
But if you just go, I enjoy it. Why would I get out? Why would I not eat this dish because I love it so much?
Wait, you just used the word love.
But I could go somewhere else and eat something else.
And it might be better.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, I just feel like that you have to say at some point, I could, but I don't want to. I like it. Yeah. And then it's just like, for me anyway, it's just like that's when love starts happening.
Okay, so let's get back to my dreams. What do you think is happening?
Well,
just round it up. Just kind of
ultimately
sum it
you're
up.
struggling with, number one, you're struggling with acceptance of yourself. You're afraid that other people don't accept yourself, which I think it's very wrong. I think more people accept you than you accept you. I think more people enjoy you and like you than you do. And I've felt that for years. I've always felt that you felt a little, you were down on yourself more than other people were. You're a unique, quirky person, as is everyone. But that's something to celebrate. You're not like everyone else. Well, what the hell? Who is? And the best people aren't.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You're going to be rejected. You're going to go out and meet someone that you love, and that person's going to reject you. It's going to happen.
It has happened.
You're going to reject someone who really cares about you.
That's happened too.
It's what I'm saying. It's part of life. My dating life, I rejected some people that I really, really, really liked, and it hurt me to do so.
Same.
But I just felt like, there's no reason to lead this person on. I'm a grown up. I'm an adult. I'm not going to get into a relationship where I'm...
so you're thinking logistically, and you're thinking, logically, and where I am the kind of person that will make adjustments in my life for other people. And I think emotionally and, I don't know, how do I, empathically, empathetically, I don't know what the word is. Anyways, I'm more, I tend to worry less about the logistics of things and more about the effects that I have on other people.
Well, that's what happened to me is like I met several people like the year I was dating, mass dating.
Yeah, en masse.
Serial dating.
Absolutely. With like an ENMASSE, en masse.
So, and I'm not that kind of a person, but it's just like I kind of felt like I would go out and meet somebody and go like, that's not for me. That's not for me. She's not for me. And what happened was I would go out and go, I like this person. And then, but I was like, I don't want to marry this person, but I like this person. And then I would meet somebody else and be like, oh, I like this person too.
You were looking for a wife.
No.
Yes, you were looking for a life
I was looking for a
partner.
relationship. I was not thinking I was ever going to get married.
You were
again.
looking for a life partner.
A long-term partner, because that's just the person I am. And I met people and I was like, I really, really like that person, but for this reason, that's not going to work. And I just felt bad about starting something that I wasn't going to be able to finish. And you start something and then another person gets connected to you and maybe even feel like, oh, this might go somewhere. And then I say no. And then I'm that shithead guy that says no.
And you feel that. That's like an emotion.
I can't stand
it.
it.
It's a pain that you
I don't
felt.
like it at all.
I remember that because I've had to do that myself. And it hurts.
And it
hurts a lot.
It's how I met my wife. It's like that day I was taking down my Match.com profile. I was like, I can't do this. I can't keep leading people on and then saying no. I'm not going to do it. And I was taking down my profile and I saw her and I was like, whoa, she's cute. I'm just going to say hi. That's all I'm going to do is say hi.
I'm just going to say hi.
And I did. And now we're married.
And it was all because of Tom Waits.
But I could, very much so. But I couldn't do that. And I still have, I have friends now who were those people, unfortunately, that I couldn't. And I feel so much better than a lot of them are in relationships now, and in much better relationships than I would have been with them. And I'm just like, whew, okay, now we can be friends, because I always say friends are better than relationships anyway, because they last longer. But anyway.
I mean, oftentimes that's
Ultimately,
true. That's
yes.
very true. So, okay. So, dating websites. I am so not there. That is not going to happen anytime soon.
I don't know.
Clearly. I mean, look at what's happening in my head, in my sleep.
You don't
I'm
have to
not
go.
There
You say
yet.
no. I feel bad for women because I know I've read too many stories. I've seen too many things where guys are just dicks, and I mean,
But women can be dicks too.
I never encountered one of them.
I have.
I didn't.
Because I date both.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm sure they exist. No doubt that they exist. And two, I wasn't looking necessarily in Atlanta. I'm sure there's a lot more Atlanta people. But no, I don't know. I feel bad. I think I feel bad more for women than I do for men, but I don't know. It can happen.
That's a very patriarchal thing to say.
One of my
very
friends,
white man privilege thing.
One of my friends today said, "How long do you go on hating people after you get married?" I was like, quite a while.
Quite a while.
But I never hated people. I really kind of hated relationships before I hated people.
See, I love my independence, obviously.
Yeah, so you shouldn't even be looking.
I shouldn't even be looking.
But I don't know that that's true, because you can have your independence and still have a friend.
I need a fuck buddy.
No. It doesn't have to be black and white. Get an intimate friend that you just love going to antique shopping with. You like going listening to some jazz. You like having them braid your hair.
Why do you know all the things I like?
And then, if they want to touch your boobs, fine.
I'd rather them touch my clit.
Hey, wow, you had to go there.
Good. Boobs are fine.
You had to go there. I'm just saying, start small, start little, and gradually move into that area. We don't do that in a society anymore. It's all or nothing. It's just like jump on and ride or get off. That's all it is. I just think that make friends, get online, make friends. Do you remember a time in your life when people dated casually? High school.
No sex involved. No
school.
sex involved.
Yeah.
But like you could go to a movie one night with Joe. Mm-hmm. And then the next day you could go to a party with Ben.
Kind of, but I didn't go with Ben.
But it didn't, not you specifically, but you collectively. And that wasn't seen as weird. And then all of a sudden, and I think I was a kid at the time, all of a sudden it became like you were a slut if you went out with two different people on two different nights.
I don't think that goes on anymore.
I don't know. It's like all of a sudden, if you go on one date, you're going out. Like when I was a kid, that was a thing. And I think that has permeated into adult life, which is, you're not allowed to just casually date folks. Like I have a date with so-and-so tonight, and I have a date with so-and-so tomorrow. And I really, really hope that is going on today. I think that's fine.
You're struggling against something that doesn't even happen. I think that happens more often than you think. I think this generation,
I haven't dated in a long time.
Right. Well, I think this generation is much less judgmental, much less open to casual dating and casual fucking than our generation and your generation was. Yeah. I mean, your generation was even more so than mine.
Right.
But okay, so like, jeez. I don't want to get into that area. I've been into, let's just say, I have been in relationships.
That was weird. It was like you looked into a dark door and you said, I don't want to go there. And you
No.
you literally in your chair turned around.
Well, I'm just not going to make it that personal, but I'm just going to say I've been in relationships where the person I was in a relationship with early on, wanted to take it sexually. And I said, no. It's just like, we got plenty of time to do that.
Right.
Why do it first night?
Right.
I mean, it'd be fun, sure.
Sure.
But if we're meant to last, let's do it on night 5.
Sex isn't what it's about.
Instead of night 1.
Right.
If we're not meant to do it, to be together, why even do it at all?
Exactly.
But that's not a judgmental thing. If you're in the relationship or you're dating just because you want to get off and you want to get sex, do night 1. Go for it.
Do it.
I have no problem with that.
Nope.
But that wasn't me. And I just feel like that the dating pool, your community pool, the dating pool
Oh my God.
is open for anyone to jump in. And you can wear whatever you want. You can wear a bikini, you can wear a thong, you can wear a one piece. I don't care. It's open for all. And it's just do what you're comfortable with. Don't put pressure on yourself to act or react the way another person wants you to. Act the way you want to. Do what you want. You'll find that person. The moment you stop trying to be what the other person wants you to be, you'll find the perfect person. Does that make sense?
Do I have to actively look though?
Yeah, kind of. You do.
'Cause
I mean,
I'm
no, you might get lucky.
I'm lazy AF.
Well, you're not going to find them sitting in your house watching Doctor Who.
Which is what I do.
I know, but I mean, you're not. You do have to go out and kind of communicate. And if you don't communicate, you do have to get online and join a dating site.
I don't date because it requires going outside, and for me that's difficult. Going outside is difficult.
Then don't date. You're not going to date.
I'm a spinster for the rest of my life.
I don't think so. I think there will come a time. I still think in your mind you're seeing one of the other. You're thinking committed long-term relationship or no relationship at all. And I just feel like there's something in between. There's someone, I'm not going to say your age, but you're 40s, mid-40s. You're in your 40s. And there's someone out there who's in their 40s who has a house, who has a life, and they're like, look, I enjoy where I am. I like my independence, but I would like someone to share that independence with. Every once in a while, do something with and be a buddy and be friends and go do stuff. I'm not ready to jump in and cohabitate with someone. Mm-hmm. And you're the same way, and you'll find that person, and then it'll be perfect. And then when it's perfect, then at some point you'll be like, hey, we're both ready to jump in deeper.
Or not,
but enjoy it while you got it.
Yeah. So, by the way, you just said I'm not going to tell how old you are.
I don't know how old you are. I can't even remember.
Oh my God.
I sort of know. I know the general.
You know how old I am.
I don't know exactly. I couldn't.
I'm
going
to tell how old I am.
I couldn't tell you.
Because here in about 3 weeks, I have a birthday coming up.
Uh-huh.
By the way, if anybody wants to buy me a birthday present and send it to us, you're welcome to. Just hit us up at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com and we'll send you an address that you can ship that gift to. Also, I'm going to adjust my wish list on Amazon just so you can find it. But
wait, hold the phone.
What phone? My phone's off.
10 years today.
Yep.
We met.
Yep.
I totally forgot.
Yep.
10 years to this day.
Yep.
We met
Online.
on Facebook.
Yep.
Holy mother freaking crap. 10 years. I totally forgot about that. Because I was sitting here, you were saying all that stuff, and I was like, what happened on July 4th? We had a July 4th. That was when we met. 10 years. 2009.
2009. I lived in Alaska. You lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
You sent me hello on Facebook, and I was
said
like,
hi.
Yeah,
Literally
something like that. We were
H-I.
communicating, and I was like, I really like this girl, but I think she's gay, so I don't have anything to worry about.
Right. So we just started chatting.
And we were chatting, and then I was like, oh, okay, she's not gay.
She's not gay.
But I thought you were, and we just hit it off. 10 years, and now we're doing a freaking podcast.
Right? And we're best friends.
Sort of.
Fuck you.
See.
I mean, other than your wife, we're best friends. You have to be best friends with your wife, don't you?
Yeah, wow, I didn't even think about that. So, and then I remember your birthday. I sent you a care package, a bunch of birthday presents. You had already, by your birthday, you had already decided you wanted to move. I had sent you a bunch of stuff.
And one of the things was a camera.
I sent you a camera because you said your camera was busted or gone or whatever. And I sent you a bunch of information about Chattanooga because that's where I was living. And you were talking about moving there. And I can't remember what else I sent, but just a bunch of stuff.
I still have the card you sent.
10 freaking years.
Yep.
Holy shit.
You drew a cartoon on my birthday card.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Of a caveman.
I was trying to impress you.
It worked.
It's funny.
Anyways.
Now we're doing a podcast. So.
Yeah. Because,
wow.
Yeah. Either way, I do have a birthday coming up, and I am about to turn 45 years old.
That's not bad, though.
But that's officially middle age.
Maybe.
And I'm okay with
45,
that.
45 is 90. I think it's a little more than a middle age.
Shut up. I'm accepting my middle age. Let me do it my way.
Yeah, I'm way past middle age.
Yeah.
I'm 57. 57?
Yep.
114. No one lives that long.
Not you anymore.
I'm not middle-aged anymore.
No, you're above average on age.
I'm above average.
Above average.
In a lot of ways.
No. But yes, I am about to turn 45 fucking years old, and you know what? I'm enjoying it.
40s are great.
Yeah.
The problem with 40s and 50s and probably beyond are the numbers. And I suggest when anyone out there becomes 40, you stop listening to the numbers. Just live. I feel right now as good as I ever have. I have a few more aches and pains. I don't know that they're part of
I can't
old.
run anymore. That's
I could
not
if I
happening.
did it, but I'm not going to.
If I was being chased.
Well, that's the thing. I
could.
mean, I still have the ability.
Right.
I can have sex, and I do. I have
could.
lots and lots of
If
sex.
I could, I
with
would.
as many people as I possibly can.
Lies.
Which is one.
Lies.
But anyway, nothing's wrong with my experience of life. I love it. Everything is great. I just look old, and that's the thing. You look old, and your number keeps going up.
Right.
You become. And so forget the number and just live and enjoy your life. And I think when you're 90, like in 4 days, my mother is 80.
Yep.
4 days.
Yep.
And she was like, I thought it was weird when 60 happened. And she was like, and now I'm like 80.
Oh, that's right.
It
You
never
used to talk to your
stops.
mom.
It
Yeah.
never stops.
Weird. So here's awkward. Yeah, I'm 45 years old, and I could have sex with whomever I wanted to. Basically, if they wanted to have sex.
Let me ask you a question, a personal question. You don't have to elaborate.
Okay.
Have you had sex since you've moved to Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, so that's I don't remember how long that is.
Several times. Actually.
Right, but I'm just saying that's not bad. You moved to a different environment.
I've lived here for over 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like you've completely shut down, and you just have to
with
find
3 different partners.
But when you're ready for commitment,
4.
when you're committed, you don't have to. That's what I said. You don't have to elaborate.
Okay. I was just thinking out loud. Sorry.
I've screwed 17 dudes.
No,
and,
it wasn't.
a couple of women.
No.
Yeah.
One of them was a dating experience. One of them was just fun. Let's do this fun because this is fun. Actually, the other 3 were that. Yeah.
Well, we're all taking notes, so thank you.
No, don't take notes. No, please.
But
don't.
I'm just saying, when you're ready, I just think that Atlanta's a big place and full of a lot of opportunity. And when you're ready, I think not just the possibility, but the quality of people here. There's some great people here.
There are some fucking awesome people here.
Yeah.
And I have met some recently I've met some really cool friends. I had met some friends in the past couple of years ago that I thought might be able to introduce me to some folks. Just not in like a set up situation, but like more of just, getting to know them and hanging out with their friends. But they were all very couple oriented.
Yeah.
They were already paired up.
Sure.
So there wasn't much opportunity to meet singles.
I wish
But I have met recently some folks that I might meet some singles with. But they're all gay.
Oh, there's a big
Gay men.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Yeah. And they have to know some girls or guys that are straight, right?
Sure.
Okay.
But you don't care. I mean, that's the thing.
I don't really have.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're open.
Totally.
I wish I was more open. There's a lot of time, and I mean, I'm totally fine. I love my relationship, and I have no problem with it. But there are times when I think, man, I wish I moved here when I was single. So many singles, so many opportunities, so many things, and so many wonderful people here. I will tell you, I moved to Atlanta 5 years ago.
Yep.
I love it here. I'm going to stay forever. It's one of my favorite places to live. It's too hot. It's too freaking hot.
It's so fucking hot.
But I love the community. I like the city. I like the people. I like so much about it. I don't see a reason to ever leave.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Where are we on time? Because I have some things I'd like to bring up.
We can do what we want. It's our podcast.
You know what? Mm-hmm. You're absolutely fucking right.
That's right. People won't stop. They can stop.
They
can listen to it later.
You wanna pause this shit?
No.
Pause it now.
Why are you pausing? Oh, them?
Yeah.
The people?
Not
sure.
you.
Well, I'm not pausing anything.
No, I ain't pausing shit. Okay. So yes, I'm a little hammered. How about you?
This cocktail, holy poopy.
Right.
It's kind of
holy poopy.
Did
you just say holy poopy?
Yeah, we're thinking of doing a live podcast in a few minutes.
We're going to.
That's going to be dangerous.
It's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll cut this
because we're
going to
do a live beer review. More alcohol.
Yep.
We don't need that.
We have another beer to drink. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so God damn it! Now I can't remember what I was going to talk about.
I don't either. We're talking about Atlanta, living in Atlanta, never leaving Atlanta, staying here, enjoying Atlanta, being with Atlanta friends, never leaving Atlanta. No reason.
I know. Okay, so I started playing this game very, very recently.
Uh-huh.
It is a game that is basically Ingress.
Is what?
Ingress. It was a name of a game that started a while back.
INGRESS?
Yes, like Ingress. Like
I don't even know what that is. Okay.
That game, the same makers of that game created Pokemon Go.
I like the Pokemon year ago. Wait a minute. What does that mean?
Not mine. Hers. Anyways.
That's
so
something
Pokemon.
I say to my wife.
Yeah, I know. But Pokemon Go, it was a huge, huge, huge hit.
I remember that.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Still is. It still is.
Wait. What was the app that people were doing for a while where they would like go look for, I don't know, they were collecting things and they would walk around the city trying to go to parks and picking up little pieces of things on their app. Remember that? It was like a couple years ago.
It's called Pokemon Go.
Was that what that was?
Yes.
Okay. I thought that's what it was.
Just so you're aware.
It just triggered a memory. Sure. Go ahead. I never played it. I don't know.
So now there's a Harry Potter version.
Okay.
It's called Harry Potter Wizards Unite. And
I think they should call Poke Your Harry. No, never mind. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
I have had some gin, by the way. Just want to point that out.
I'm now playing Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I almost said Harry Potter Pokego.
Poke Your Harry Unite. Night. Whatever.
Stop.
Sorry.
And breathe.
Man,
okay.
I should delete that. Go ahead.
Anyways, Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Right.
Basically, you walk around, you collect things, you go into fortresses, and there are places around town that you have to walk to in order to get energy or to fight wizards or, to get,
Are people still
stuff.
doing that kind of thing with Pokemon and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Pokemon Go is still big.
I don't know.
But Wizards Unite is even bigger now.
Wow.
Like, it's huge. And I started playing. And there's a friend of mine who lives in... I have friends in Alaska who play. I have friends in Colorado who play. I have
Now, wait,
friends...
is it mostly like 8-year-old kids and you're the only grown-up and you're like, get out of the way, kid?
Actually, no. It's really not.
Is it all grown up?
It's people who... It's anybody who wants to go outside.
Go out. Okay. Which, not me.
Right.
Right.
Not you, because you have to actually walk on occasion. There's walking involved.
I hobble.
I literally pulled up my Wizards Unite app here at your house.
Was there something hidden?
Nothing. There is nothing.
We don't have any Harry Potter
you
stuff
live
here at
in
all.
the burbs.
No, I live in a good place.
But there's nothing.
I'm over on
where
the
I live.
Stone Mountainside.
I can play from my couch.
Well.
Okay, because I live downtown.
Yeah. You're right in the middle of all the activity.
You can't play out here at all.
Stone Mountain is cool.
It's very cool. Not for Wizards Unite. Anyways,
No.
I have a friend who lives in Texas, and she plays.
Okay.
And we were very excited that we both played.
Okay.
And she's a listener. Mm-hmm. Her name is Lori. We've talked about her before.
We're giving her a new nickname.
We're about to give her a new nickname.
Uh-huh.
Because we had discussed, 2 episodes ago that we had a couple of ideas. You said polecat.
I love the name Polecat. I think it's sort of cool, but that's the kind of name that you really kind of need to be a cat person,
Right.
if you're going to take that.
And Lori's a dog person.
Okay, so pole dog doesn't work.
Not so much.
Although-
My idea was
Could work.
private messenger.
Private PM.
Yeah, because remember, she always sends like her comments about the podcast to me specifically and not to both of us.
I never get to.
She just doesn't like you.
I don't blame her.
So I decided,
Uh-huh.
because there was another option when we discussed it.
Yes.
It was DM on the DL.
DM. What does that mean? DM. What's DM? Direct message on the down low.
Direct message on the down low.
I know my abbreviations. You're correct.
Well done.
DM on the DL.
Well done. What does ROFL
Rolling on the floor.
A mean?
Rolling on the floor. Laugh my ass off.
Very good.
I'm not too far out of the loop. I know.
I actually had to look. Like I had
I
to,
know.
I
You
had
have to kind of do it in
spell
your
it
head.
out. Okay, so
But here's what I don't understand. People a lot of times will use abbreviations that have nothing to do with anything. And I'm like, I have to go to Urban Dictionary or wherever. I'm like, I have to look it up. I'm like, what the heck does this mean? And it's just like...
First time I ever saw...
Like, for what it's worth. Like, what is it? For WWW, FWW. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And then I have to look it up. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I feel stupid.
Well, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
Or shaking my head. Remember
we
that?
always feel stupid
Yeah.
the first time we see it.
Shaking my head.
IDSMH.
Playing with myself. I do that one. Maybe no one else does.
What is that? PWM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PWM.
You do that all by yourself,
I'm
honey.
doing it right now.
No, you're not, actually, because I can see both of your hands, unless you're using your toes, in which case your yoga is going well.
Whew, this is going to take a bad turn. All right, go ahead. What were you saying?
We are giving Lori
Yes.
a nickname.
Okay, and it's going to be
DM on the DL.
DM and is that a nickname? DM
Yes.
and the DL. We really, like we said, we need to come up with an actual list.
So we're just going to call her DMDL.
DMDL. I like that.
DMDL.
DMDL. DMDL.
Because we have to abbreviate. We can't remember words.
But we don't need on the. That's excessive. DMDL.
On this is excessive.
DMDL. DMDL. I can get into that.
DMDL. I do have to
Another
actually write that
person.
one.
If you want a nickname, if you're a person who listens to the podcast on a regular basis and you want a nickname, as you know, we give out nicknames to our people, even though we don't always remember them. Who do we have? DMDL. We have Dog Crate. We have
J-Man.
J-Man. We have
The stalker,
the Stalker's here.
who's coming back to visit this winter.
Somebody's right on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. I almost said it.
Jax?
No. Anyway, I can't think of it.
Wow. Koozie Mike, maybe?
Koozie Mike. We can't forget about Koozie Mike.
Right?
And we got a lot of other people. If we're not mentioning you on the air and you want a nickname,
It means you have to email us because we haven't heard from you in a long enough that we don't remember your fucking name,
Yeah.
which means you're a bad friend and you need to email
Not
us.
a bad friend. Let's not shame them. Thisepicdisaster@gmail.com.
Sorry. This is why I'm single.
It also helps a little bit if we know a little bit about you. So, like a lot of the people who have nicknames have been listening to the podcast for a while. That's disgusting. And so it does help if we know a little bit, but it isn't necessary. You can always kind of tell us a little bit about you, and we'll put that on there.
No one will know why you said this is disgusting.
You drank your cocktail and had a big glob of mint leaf on your face, in your teeth, and now on your tongue. Yeah. Thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Send us an email. You can send us something on Facebook, facebook.com/thisepicdisaster.
Very good.
We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere you want to be.
And if you want to hear me in a venue other than this, you can go to ESO. Oh, what is it? ESW. I can't remember their actual website for Earth Station Who, but you can go to ESO Network.com. Thank you,
Or on
and
Facebook.
find Earth Station Who. And listen to the episode that talks about the doctor's wife, and you'll hear me
And I'm
with
just
Mike and Michael and Mary.
Yeah, and I'm just going to throw this out. I'm not going to give a lot of details, but I think there's a possibility you're going to be on another podcast in a few weeks.
It's possible.
And we're not going to go into detail but right now, but we will in a couple of weeks. We'll tell about the podcast while
It's Doug. Just say it's Doug.
Maybe Doug in a pub. And by the way, if you're not listening to Doug and the Pub's podcast, you should, because it's really good. Here's the thing. A lot of times people say something about a podcast and then you listen to it and you're like, oh, that's kind of crap. And you don't want to listen to it.
Because people do that with us all the time.
Right. And I'm just like, okay, it's sort of okay, but not good. I really like Doug and the Pub's podcast.
You almost call him Doug and a Pug.
No, it's just a lot of...
I could picture a pug with Doug's head.
A lot of work
Doug
for my lips.
as a pug.
He's doing a good job. And for someone who just starts a new podcast, for it to sound really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might
well
be,
done.
He might
well
be
done,
better
Doug.
than ours. He might be better than ours. I don't know. I don't want to say that.
Everybody is better than ours.
Every person in the world. But anyway, you might be on his podcast in a couple weeks. Possibly.
It's quite possible.
Well, you're going to record it. I don't know when he's going to release it.
I don't either.
If you have any questions
for Doug
or for Cheri, you can send them to thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Okay, so we're going to start closing this podcast down. I have
a pen on your glass.
Right now, we have a glass of booze. We have a glass of...
No, it's beer.
A beer.
Uh-huh.
We want to talk about a rating for this beer. What's it called? FXX.
It's
Pollen.
called Fuck Pollen. It's by Scofflaw Brewing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not a big fan of pollen, at least when it goes up in my nose. I know it's necessary.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, I had a sneezing fit this morning.
You told me about that.
I sneezed 20 times in a row.
Wow. That's way too much.
Never happens.
That's way too much. I'm really, really sleepy.
You're really, really drunk.
I'm not drunk at all. What do you give this beer?
You know, like a 3.
That's what I was going to give it. That's crazy.
Okay,
right.
You and I are the exact same person.
I don't think so. Even though my friend Suzanne says we are, we're not. I'm going to say, so I was going to say 2.5, but it's a little better than that. I thought this was going to be kind of a shitty beer. I really thought it was going to be a little more average beer. It's a slightly above average beer. I keep drinking it thinking it's going to bite me back. It's going to have a... It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's got a nice little taste.
And hopefully it'll get rid of my allergies.
I don't know.
Fuck pollen.
Does
right?
it have pollen in it? I don't know, but it's kind of a little bit of a grapefruity, kind of a fruity taste of a beer. It definitely smells like that.
It's yummy.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that really harsh bitter taste. So I gotta say.
And I love that they use a XXX. That's just, down my alley.
It's kind of cool. All right, so should we shut it down? Should we stop? Should we quit?
We should shut something down.
Before we keep going. We got to go grill out. I have to be around fire in my current state.
How about we let Maria do that?
No, she won't do it. So we got to go downstairs and we got to grill out. But in the meantime, we just want to say thanks for listening to the podcast. You guys, we don't have like tons and tons and tons and tons of listeners. I wish we did, but we don't. But you guys are our tons of listeners, and we're glad you keep coming back, and hopefully...
And you can make more, and I don't mean by having babies. What I mean is you can tell your friends. You can share our podcast releases on Facebook. You can, say, hey, check this podcast out if you like it. Or when you're talking to a rando stranger in elevator, you could be like, dude, have you ever heard this Epic Disaster podcast? If you haven't, check it out. Okay, this is my floor. Bye. I'm out. That could be like your thing.
I always feel like more people would like the podcast if they listen to the podcast, but it's very difficult to promote a podcast. A lot of people don't know how difficult it is. So you guys can help us by sharing the podcast if you will. If you don't want to, we certainly understand, but we would like for you to. But whatever, please come back and listen to our shit. And no, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say stay tuned for a live version, but it's not going to do any good because this comes out next week and the live version is coming out in a few hours.
Right.
But you can go back and listen to the recorded version of the live version, which is really weird, but you can still do it.
Or you can watch the video on Facebook because we're doing it on Facebook Live, right?
Yeah, I think I need to go downstairs and have some food, and I'm going to do that.
Maybe you should have some water.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do that. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.